नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्णा। Today we continuing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto 2, Chapter 1st, the first step in God realization. Shloka number 9 and 10. Parinishthita api nairgunne
परिनिष्ठितोऽपि नैर्गुण्य
ne uttama shloka leelaya
उत्तमश्लोकलीलया
grihita cheta rajarshe
गृहीतचेता राजर्षे
आख्यानम यत adhitavan
आख्यानं यत् अधीतवान्
tat aham te avidhasyami
तत् अहं ते अभिधास्यामि।
महापौरुषिकः भवान्
महापौरुषिकः भवान्
यस्य श्रद्धा
यस्य श्रद्धताम् आशु
मुकुंदे मति सति
स्यान्मुकुन्दे मतिः सति।
परिनिष्ठितोऽपि नैर्गुण्ये
परिनिष्ठितः अपि नैर्गुण्य
उत्तमश्लोकलीलया
उत्तमश्लोकलीलया
गृहीतचेतः राजर्षे
गृहीतचेतः राजर्षे
आख्यानं यत् अधीतवान्
आख्यानं यत् अधीतवान्
तत् अहं ते अभिधास्यामि
तत् अहं ते अभिधास्यामि।
महापौरुषिकः भवान्
पौरुषिकः भवान्
यस्य श्रद्धताम् आशु
यस्य श्रद्धताम् आशु
स्यात् मुकुन्दे मतिः सति
स्यात् मुकुन्दे मतिः सति।
परिनिष्ठितोऽपि नैर्गुण्ये उत्तमश्लोकलीलया गृहीतचेतः राजर्षे आख्यानं यत् अधीतवान् तत् अहं ते अभिधास्यामि महापौरुषिकः भवान् यस्य श्रद्धताम् आशु स्यात् मुकुन्दे मतिः सति। हरे कृष्ण।
परिनिष्ठितः अपि नैर्गुण्ये उत्तमश्लोकलीलया गृहीतचेता राजर्षे आख्यानं यत् अधीतवान् तत् अहं ते अभिधास्यामि। महापौरुषिको भवान् यस्य श्रद्धताम् आशु स्यात् मुकुन्दे मतिः सति।
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence, yet I was still attracted by the delineation of pastimes of the Lord, who is described by enlightened verses. That very Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam I shall recite before you because you are the most sincere devotee of the Lord Krishna. One who gives full attention and respect to hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam achieves unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord, the giver of salvation. Purport. The absolute truth is realized as the impersonal Brahman at the first instant by philosophical speculation, and later as the Supersoul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if by the grace of the Lord an impersonalist is enlightened by the super statements of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he is also converted into transcendental devotee of the personality of Godhead with a pure fund of knowledge. We cannot adjust to the idea of the personality of the absolute truth, and the personal activities of the Lord are deplored by the less intelligent impersonalist. But reason and arguments, together with transcendental process of approaching absolute truth, help even staunch impersonalists to become attracted by personal activities of the Lord. A person like Shukdev Goswami cannot be attracted by any mundane activity. But when such a devotee is convinced by a superior method, he is certainly attracted by the transcendental activities of the Lord. The Lord is transcendental, as are his activities. He is neither inactive nor impersonal. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is recognized Vedic wisdom, and the system of receiving Vedic knowledge is called Avaroha Pantha, or the process of receiving transcendental knowledge through Bonafide disciplic succession. For advancement of material knowledge, there is a need for personal ability and researching aptitude. But in the case of spiritual knowledge, all progress depends more or less on the mercy of the spiritual master. The spiritual master must be satisfied with the disciple. Only then is knowledge automatically manifest before the student of spiritual science. The process should not, however, be misunderstood to be something like magical feats, whereby the spiritual master acts like a magician and injects a spiritual knowledge into his disciple, as if surcharging him with an electrical current. The bona fide spiritual master reasonably explain everything to the disciple on the authorities of Vedic wisdom. The disciple can receive such a teaching not exactly intellectually, but by submissive inquiries and a service attitude. The idea is that both the spiritual master and the disciple must be bona fide. In this case, the spiritual master Shukdev Goswami is ready to recite exactly what he has learned from his great father Srila Vyasa, and the disciple Maharaj Parikshit is a great devotee of the Lord Krishna. A devotee of Lord Krishna is he who believes sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes fully equipped with everything spiritual. This teaching is imparted by the Lord Himself in the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, in which it is clearly described that the Lord Sri Krishna is everything, and that to surrender unto Him solely and wholly makes one the most perfectly pious man. This unflinching faith in Lord Krishna prepares one to become a student of Srimad Bhagavatam, and one who hears Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from a devotee like Shukdev Goswami is sure to attain salvation at the end. O Maharaj Parikshit, as Maharaj Parikshit Dev, the professional reciter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and the pseudo devotees whose faith is based on 1 week's hearing uh, are different from Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. Srila Vyasdev explained Srimad Bhagavatam unto Shukdev Goswami from the very beginning of the Jalmati Asya verse. And so Shukdev Goswami also explained it to the king. Lord Krishna is described as the Mahapurusha in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, in his devotional picture as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself in his devotional attitude descent on or to below descend on or to be bestow special favors upon the fallen souls of this age of Kali. There are two verses. There are two verses particularly suitable to offer as prayers to this Mahapurush feature of Lord Krishna. ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नम् अभिष्टदोहम् तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरञ्चीन ऊतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्ति अहं प्रणतपाल भव अब्धिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम् त्यक्त्वा सुदुस्य यज असुरे सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठ आर्यवचसा यत् अगात अरण्यं मायामृगं दयितया ईप्सितम् अन्वधावत् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम्. Bhagavatam 11.5.33 and 34. In other words, Purush means the enjoyer, and Mahapurush means the supreme enjoyer, or the supreme personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. One who deserves to approach the supreme Lord Sri Krishna is called the Mahapaurushik. Anyone who hears Srimad Bhagavatam attentively from its bona fide reciter is sure to become a sincere devotee of the Lord, who is able to award liberation. There was none so attentive as Maharaj Parikshit in the matter of hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And there was none so qualified as Shukdev Goswami to recite the text of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Therefore, anyone who follows in the footsteps of either the ideal reciter or the ideal hearer, Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit, respectively, will undoubtedly attain salvation like them. Maharaj Parikshit attained salvation by hearing only, and Shukdev Goswami attained salvation only by reciting. Recitation and hearing are two processes out of 9 devotional service, and by strenuously following the principle either in all or by parts, one can attain the absolute plane. So the complete text of Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning with the Jalmadi Asya verse up to the last one in the 12th canto, was spoken by Shukdev Goswami for the attainment of salvation by Maharaj Parishit. In the Padma Purana, it is mentioned that Gautam Muni advised Maharaj Amrisha to hear regularly Srimad Bhagavatam as it was recited by Shukdev Goswami, and hearing it is confirmed that Maharaj Parikshit heard Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning to the end, as it was spoken by Shukdev Goswami. One who is actually interested in the Bhagavatam, therefore, must not play with it by reading or hearing a portion from here and a portion from there. One must follow in the footsteps of great kings like Maharaj Amrisha or Maharaj Parikshit and hear it from a Bonafide representative of Shukdev Goswami. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Tapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sahadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. We try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, the first step in God realization. Shloka 9 and 10. They describe about the absolute truth. What is absolute truth? And uh, what is the meaning according to philosophical speculation? Then uh, what is Srimad Bhagavatam? How we hear it? What is the process to uh, receive or to hear that describe here? And they again giving the prayers to the Mahapurusha of Lord Krishna. Then they called Krishna Mahapurushik. What is Mahapurushik? And recitation and hearing are the two process of out of 9 devotional process. What is that? And how is it? Prabhuji will tell us in nicely in detail. Hare Krishna. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्ण. So Shukdev Goswami ji while responding to Parikshit Maharaj, is now addressing him as a Rajrushi, saintly king, and telling him about his own fact first, so that whatever he says becomes strong enough to be followed and accepted. So he says that he was situated completely in transcendence, but as soon as he came to know about the pastimes of the Lord, he was immediately attracted by those enlightening verses. And he says that that very same Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is now going to recite because Parikshit Maharaj was a great and sincere devotee of Krishna. And then he tells the importance of that. He says that if you give full attention and respect to Bhagavatam, then you will achieve unflinching faith in Krishna, who is the only source of salvation. So basically, what Sukdev Goswami ji is trying to do is immediately, first of all, telling that even impersonalists who initially see absolute truth as formless can be transformed into pure devotees by hearing the transcendental glories of Krishna as presented in Srimad Bhagavatam. So basically, there's a progression of realization of absolute truth. Brahman, which is impersonal realization, then Paramātmā, the Supersoul, and finally Bhagavān, the Supreme Person. And Bhagavatam plays a vital role in guiding impersonalists towards personal devotion to Krishna. Second is dangers and obstacles on spiritual path. Now, Mayavad philosophy, excessive ritualism, that is karma kand, fascination with mysticism, desire to control nature, actually they can deviate a speaker. Many of the Vedic scholars, Maharaj says, miss the essence to know Krishna and develop a relationship with him. And so we have to be very, very careful because Krishna is transcendental over the material attraction. And this we have already seen in the first canto, 11th chapter, shloka number 36 to 38. Despite external beauty, Krishna's queens could not agitate his senses. Even Cupid, Kamadev, who bewilders Lord Shiva, is defeated before Lord Krishna. And the material world, which revolves around sexual interaction, but Krishna remains unaffected, is Atmaram, self satisfied. So Krishna's pastimes are transcendental, they're not mundane. At times you get question how Krishna can have 16,108 wives. The scriptures recommend detachment from women. And the answer is that his relationships were not based on lust, but on unalloyed devotion. The queens, they served with pure love. And Krishna reciprocated out of affection, not desire. So the misunderstanding of Krishna is basically due to limited vision. This again gets clarified in the 37th shloka of 11th chapter of Canto 1. Abhudaha, that is, ignorant people, they project their own material limitations onto Krishna. They think his body and actions are like this. Atmavan manyate jagata. One who sees world through the lens of their own mind. So two fish see the moon. One says it is shiny fish. This is how mundane people speculate about God. While Krishna and his associates, they are always transcendental. Even though Krishna appears in this world, acts materially, seemingly, like killing demons, taking birth in family, but practically he is untouched by the modes of nature. Even his devotees, they remain spiritually untouched, just like the six Goswamis, who are materially renounced, yet spiritually opulent. So Krishna and his devotees are under Yoga Maya, not Mahamaya. So the actions are pure and divine. So we need to have real understanding, which requires purity and sadhu sangha, association. Sense gratification blinds one from understanding the truth. Just like coming out of dark room into sunlight is painful. And Mayavadis especially insult Krishna by denying his form and personality. But by hearing Bhagavatam from genuine devotees, one can be freed from illusion and appreciate Krishna's transcendental nature. Prabhupada stresses that Krishna is fully personal, fully transcendental, and never subject to material laws. So, true understanding of his pastimes and glories is only possible by hearing from pure devotees, giving up mental speculation, and engaging in unalloyed devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So what it means is that we need to receive the Vedic knowledge through disciplic succession, Avroha Pantha. Bhagavatam is divine Vedic knowledge. So it should be received through Bonafide Guru Shishya Parampara. Unlike material knowledge that depends on intelligence, on research, spiritual knowledge is revealed by the mercy of spiritual master. True transmission is not magical, but depends on submissive hearing and service attitude. So we need to have faith in Krishna, which is the key to spiritual understanding. Like in the 10th shloka of the first chapter of this Bhagavatam, which we are reading today, or the shloka number 39 in Bhagavad Gita, this clearly mentioned that faithful service, control of senses, and chanting purify the heart and lead to realization. So, a devotee who is sincere, he believes that devotion to Krishna alone is sufficient for spiritual advancement. Prabhupada tries to make it very, very clear to us that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam requires reverent and attentive hearing. So, if you are like Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, that is ideal teacher and student, will understand Bhagavatam. Superficial professional reciters, the Bhagavad Saptah programs, they cannot give the same benefit. Maharaj Amrish also heard Bhagavatam regularly from a bona fide speaker. So we need to understand this very, very clearly. Bhagavad Saptah has no value if the speaker is not in a Guru Shishya Parampara. And that is where Prabhupada ji stresses the importance of the daily Bhagavatam classes. Even neophytes benefit by reading, learning a little daily. So what is important is quality over quantity. Regular reverential hearing and asking questions is the key. Both spiritual wealth, that is knowledge, and material wealth, they take time to develop. So we have to be patient. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he exemplified pure devotion. In the mood of a devotee, revealing the sweetness of love of God, Prema Pumartha Mahan. His pastimes attract even himself. So services at the altar, in the kitchen, whatever you get in the temple, they must be done in reverent, sober mood. No joking, no talking. Otherwise, there's Mahamaya ready to attack you. Yogmaya creates spiritual illusions that enhance loving exchange with Krishna. Like gopis see Krishna as beloved, but it is pure and not mundane. While Mahamaya, it binds souls in illusion. Yogmaya liberates and enhances bhakti. So we have to be careful about Mahamaya. So deep spiritual education is very, very essential for that. Only those who are spiritually educated can understand the true love of God. Without this, spiritual truths seem illogical, offensive due to material conditioning, like a living in a house of mirrors. So the supreme beauty of Krishna, the power of love, that is for us. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 4th chapter, 30th shloka, this description how Krishna and his devotees are enchanted by each other's qualities. In Golok Vrindavan also, loving relationships transcend reverence seen in Vaikuntha. So Yogmaya facilitates intimate exchanges like those between Krishna and the gopis. And when it comes to example of Govind's reverence, Remember the story of Govind in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was a servant of Lord Chaitanya. He refused to cross his body for his own comfort, but did so to serve, showing due reference and love. So, what you have to look at is gradual realization through regulative devotional service. We may not understand pure love initially, but by following sadhana bhakti, one becomes purified and can appreciate deeper truths. Repetition of Bhagavatam study leads to increasing realization of its deeper meanings. So the core message basically is spiritual knowledge, especially of Bhagavatam, must be received from a bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara disciple. It should be received with faith, reverence, devotion, and only then, when these four are fulfilled, one can enter into the kingdom of Krishna, where you have mysteries of divine love and attain the highest goal of life, Krishna Prem, pure love for Krishna, the Prema Bhakti. So let us all continue this study of Bhagavatam daily without fail. Continue to chant and pray and serve devotees, serve Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.